Good morning, everyone. Let's start. Let's have firstly stand-up meeting to see what errors we have. Then we will test new build, and after new build testing, we will discuss errors for API automation, and also we will select interview questions for tomorrow because I think we have time. We have tomorrow presentations. It will be 3 presentations. It can take maybe about 1 hour, so we can spend more time for interview questions, and we can select maybe 5-7 questions for tomorrow. Let's start with stand up. And first will be Daria. Daria, please explain what you did before. What is the status of your task?
Hi guys, I missed you all. We have like 3 days off, right? So what I did, I practiced with XPath. In fact, it took me longer than I expected because the tasks some of them were pretty tricky. And I think I have no blockers with that, but I have just one question. But it's gonna contain some spoilers, like the answers. So I don't know if probably it's a better idea to discuss it at the very end, because probably someone didn't complete it all and don't want to hear the spoilers, right answers, I mean. So I also practiced with API automation. But you know, there is one thing I didn't quite understand. So should we should we group all the like methods and requests we have into some kind of little scenarios to make them automated? Because Sofia showed us, remember, so we collected some of them because the sequence really matters. So to do that, should we kind of, you know, just put all the lists in front of us and think we're kind of, what can we group? So am I right, Sofia?
If you want, you can group them. The main idea is to make this collection executable without manual updates. So you can, first way how you can do it, you can just have one collection and some requests that is ordered in specific sequence. So when you will run it every time, it means that it will refresh every variable automatically. You will not update. But also, second way, you can have separate folders to test each methods. Just in this case, you will have more requests in your collection. But again, idea is same. We want to execute collection, and we want to receive very quick feedback for all functions that all of them works. So it doesn't matter, just you should be able to run it and you should see 200 OK for everything.
Yeah, okay. And the last thing I did, I collected, well, I would say started collecting some questions to the developer, because I remember we'll have a sort of, you know, a talk with him soon. So yeah, so my questions, half of them are about feature requests and half of them are sort of about the product, because I have some general questions. For example, why it is possible to create an account only for a student, and to be a teacher, we need another teacher to change the status. For me, it's a really unusual design because when I use the similar programs, you can usually select your role at the very beginning. So remember, for example, in Postman, or, you know, it doesn't really matter when you create the account, it asks you like, who are you? If you're a student, if you're a, let's say like a, you know, team lead, it has probably different functions. So I'm used to this system, but for our application, we have another system when another person should change your status. So I'm just really curious, probably the developer will say something about the architecture. I don't know, probably it has something to do with, you know, better and, you know, development. So it's all about coding. I don't know. So yeah, I think that's all. So for blockers, I have no blockers, I think, but I need to finish my API automation. And I'll ask Sofia after the lessons some questions about XPath, and I think I'm done with that.
Okay, good. Thank you. About this question for application architecture, I'm sure that this developer will not be able to answer why exactly this application developed this way, because this is developer, not a creator of this application. It was created before, and the idea how to make this function, it came from Mikhail Portnov. So like this. But we can just ask, can we remake it or can we do somehow different way? Maybe this developer will suggest for us something. This developer joined Portnov Computer School maybe about 2 months ago.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Daria, maybe you don't think about it's like a double check about role, because there's so small application for so small group, and owner need to think about who came like teacher. Maybe it's like double check, because if you remember, the Mikhail all time check us when we went to log in on the Portnov school. It's maybe like quiz, or maybe special for our what we study, only for us study. It's like study program now, maybe.
Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, Елена.
Hi guys. I'm working on automation, like API automation. I have some mistake when I run. I have arrows. I don't know. Maybe like Dasha said, like I have to put in order to everything, or I don't know. But maybe I will today spend some time to fix it. And X5 even I didn't touch it.
Okay, do you want to resolve this issue at the end of meeting, or you want to try by yourself?
Yeah, I think I will ask you some questions.
Okay, thank you. Next, Genrich.
Hello. I was working on the XPaths and watched the video, the one that you posted about like crawl paths and stuff like that, finding values and everything else. Almost done with API automation, but there's a few questions and a little bit confused. Maybe since it's like key sensitive, there could be anything like maybe something missed, but I'm not sure. Like it gives me error in few things. But if we go over today at the end of the class, yeah, I was gonna ask, are we gonna do we have to download CrawPath today or?
CrawPath is extension for Chrome, so you can add it to Chrome.
Oh, okay. I see. All right, that's it.
Okay, yeah, and I also posted this competitor of CrawPath in our resources channel. I just very quickly show how it works. So we have pull application, and then we can inspect page, and then if we have CrawPath installed, we will be able to select it here, but we also can select Selectors Hub. I will try to use CrawPath firstly, and I will try to navigate to any elements. Let's try to select some menu item. So I click quizzes, and right now it proposes me relative XPath that start with H5 contains text quizzes. So now it looks good, but sometimes it is not all the time good selection, not the best one. Okay, so it can be selected just by text. Let's see some other stuff. Okay, for example, this button. And okay, it also works here well. Let's check this field. So I select title of quiz field. Okay, so here it provides that we can use ID, mat input -0. Also, it provides normal example, but sometimes it do not give relative XPath as normal example. I do not remember on what page I made this mistake, but so here we can see that it is some number in XPath. Better not to use number, but you can easily select another attribute with value of this attribute, and you can try it here and it will work. So I will show example from Selectors Hub. Also, it proposes me to use some input, but right now it's selected automatically that we can use placeholder. So it immediately suggests good option. Let's check some other field. Let's see on login maybe. Okay, back to list of quizzes. Log out. And then I will try to search for email. So here again, it proposes a good example. We select by placeholder email. Let's switch to CrawPath and see what example. So CrawPath suggests for us again to use this ID that in our case is not best way. I posted link in resources. for this selectors hub. It is here. You can also use one more tool to practice XPath. It is interesting. It is like game, and you suggest different options, and then program tell is it correct or no. Okay,
so basically, so those those paths we paste in what do you call this program? IntelliJ?
IntelliJ.
Yeah, over there, and then when we run it for the
Yes.
automation.
So when we will create our test cases, we will firstly run our test case in Cucumber format. It will be just clear English language with special syntax. And after it will be explained in English, we will use this tool Cucumber to convert our clear English language to Java. And it will create like custom methods in Java, and we will be able to write a Selenium commands that will do some stuff. So to write Selenium commands, we need to explain program what to do, and we need to show firstly that we want to navigate to login page, then we need to find somehow these fields and send data here, then click sign in button. So here it is locator for this field, and we will provide it inside our code, and the program will know where exactly to type, where to click, like this. The program is this one, IntelliJ. I will send later link for framework setup, so you will compare framework if you have already something installed with frameworks that we will use.
Got it. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, next, Laley.
Hi everyone. I finished the API automation and the XPath homework, and I'm working on the XPath presentation that we have tomorrow with Victoria. I have a couple of questions about last session using Newman that I will ask them at the end of the session.
Thank you. Next, Lyubov.
I Googled something because it's not so clear for me, API automation and XPath. I watched another video and I did not do my homework. I will start it today because I need some knowledge for this. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Next, Margarita.
Well, I'm done with the API automation, but still my question about reset password is still alive. I didn't solve it, unfortunately. I'm done with XPaths, everything is done, but I'm not sure about one task. And I started extra task on API automation recruit site.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Next, Maxim.
Hi, team. So during this weekend, I worked on API automation task, which was assigned to me in Jira, and it's already done. Now I'm gonna continue to work on my other task, which is XPath.
Thank you. Next, Natalia.
Hello, everybody. I watched the video about XPath, and also I searched another resources to read about XPath, and I proceed to work on API automation. That's it.
Thank you. Next, Ayuna.
Hello, team. So yes, as everybody, I'm working on that automation part, and still didn't start the XPath, but I will do that probably today. No blockers. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Sergey.
Hi guys, I finished my API automation, and I also got my lesson that each and every teeny tiny details very important. I spent hours to figure out that I put dots instead of commas and so on. And I currently work on my XPath selectors, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Next, Tatiana.
Hi everyone. I was working on API automation. Unfortunately, I understand not everything clear for me, so I need to spend more time to understand, and I work on my presentation.
Okay, cool. Do you want to discuss some question at the end of meeting?
Yes.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. Next, Uliana.
Hi everyone. So I start working on the IPI and my presentation. I do have a couple questions for Sofia, very quick. The examples that you sent me has like 27 slides and 17 slides, and you told me it's going to be like 5-7 slides. So is that okay, right? Because it's going to be a very brief presentation.
No, not very brief. No, it can take about 20 minutes. The number of slides is optional. You can see on this example that I shared with you that some slides contain
just
few
examples.
Just, yeah. Or just screenshot. So the number, it doesn't matter, but try to...
Like 20 minutes, right?
Yep. If
okay.
A little bit more, it is no problem.
Okay, I didn't start working on XPaths yet because I'm working on the presentation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Victoria.
Hi, everyone. This weekend, I worked on my XPath homework in Jira and prepared to the presentation. And it took for me much more time than I expected. So I didn't have enough time to work on my API automation assignment. And I'm going to work on that today. And I will have a couple of questions, but I will ask them at the end of today's class. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Doc, we have 15. I have 12. If I forgot about somebody, please turn on microphone. It look like no. Okay, let's switch then to testing of new build. And then let's discuss this question for API. So firstly, I would like to deploy this build. I go to Jenkins for staging. Jenkins, and I'm signing in, and we have here one item. It's called Jenkins job, and it was configured by developer. This job allows us to deploy different builds. This part will be done by developer. You will just refresh link and you will see that new build is deployed. So now if I will go to our application and if I will log in as a teacher, because here I just do not can see this build number, and I can see that it is 1.0.2, but then in Jenkins, I can click build with parameters or run job, and then I can select from what branch we want to deploy our new build. It is this one, 1.0.4, 1.0.3 we rejected because it was a serious bug that appears, and then I select that I want to deploy it to staging environment. I click build and wait until it will be completed.
Excuse me, Sophia, so we all have to do it in order to have this new build in our computers?
No, you will just refresh page and you will receive. Only one person need to do it. Usually it is done by developer or DevOps.
Okay, got it.
So DevOps, it is person who know how to manage this Jenkins job, who know how to configure all of them. Right now we have only one job that make deployment of application, but also here can be a lot of jobs. For example, we can have separate job for smoke test, or can be separate job for full regression, or can be separate jobs that will run all unit tests, all integration, all system tests, and can be also separate jobs that will help to deploy environment to production after all previous jobs completed. Okay, almost done.
And Sophie, do we have to download this Jenkins? Or?
You do not need. When you will join some company, you will just get credentials. It will be a web application. You will log in, and if you will work, it will be not the first stuff that you need to do on your new work, for sure. But if you need to do some stuff there, developer or your manager will provide credentials. You will log in. You will see what job already exists here, and you will be able to configure Jenkins job for some your tasks that you want Jenkins to do. For example, if you will work with UI automation, you will be able to configure it for smoke, full regression, API automation tests. And at the end of our project, I will show how we can do the stuff that can be performed by QA. So this stuff can be performed by developer.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so it is completed, and I can just refresh.
Sophia, can I please ask a question? So when you updated the link, does that mean we have no access to the previous build? Like, imagine we have to work with the previous build, or we need to. What's the word? Like.
Yeah, if you want to switch to previous, we just need to redeploy it and go again to this job, click build with parameters, select here previous one, this was stable one, and then I will click build and it will change. But right now, if you will try to refresh your page for application, you also will see that you are on 1.0.4.
Okay, but is it possible to create multiple links for different builds?
Yes, but then we need to have multiple environments. We can have staging environment and it will be 1.0.2 deployed. Then we can have staging new or staging 1, and it can be another build deployed there. But in parallel on one environment, you cannot do this way.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, so I can see that it is deployed, and we, as usual, need to start with some smoke test to see if it is in testable condition. A couple of students, maybe 4 or 5 students already shared with me automation collection that was executable. Can somebody please run it one more time, and we will see on the screen if all functions is okay. So somebody need to share screen.
I can do it if you want.
Okay, yeah, let's do.
I should share screen, or
yeah, you need to share screen and just click run on your collection.
But I need to connect, I guess. Yep.
Yeah, you need to connect to database also, because you have some requests.
Oops, not like that, yeah. Like no.
I cannot see, so I cannot see the mistake.
Give me copy link from Slack or database. It was in the resources, right?
You mean this command?
Yeah.
It was in API channel or in resources. I do not remember. I will check. Yeah, it is in API channel. I will send to Zoom because I already see.
I already see.
Okay, then I will not.
So Sophia, when we want to run a collection, we always need to open the command and connect to the database, right?
Not always. If you want to skip requests that contain activation code, like I can open my collection, I see that, so I have some number of requests that is automated, but let's say that right now I do not want to execute collection that make requests to database. I will be able to click run, and then here I can uncheck this request that may fail if I will not connect, and then run automation, and then it will be executed. But if you want to run everything, yes, firstly we connect to database from terminal, then we run everything and we receive report for everything.
It's good already.
Okay, can you just for a second share screen? I just want to record this part. Okay, yeah, we can see that everything was executed. You have tests that, okay, let's do. Yeah, it works because just response time. Okay, cool. Everything works. So we can see that all function works. Nothing is broken. Thank you. I will stop sharing, and then we can do some smoke test on UI. Just check if you can log in, if you can click somewhere to see if we can do this function on UI. Okay, I click on quizzes. I will just very briefly check if I can create something actual, then some text here, save, and yes, so create function works, but I see that it's a little bit slower because probably we have a lot of data in database because we did this API automation, multiple people run collection a lot of times, and we created a lot of data. Okay. So smoke test completed. Now we need to open release notes and we need to see what was changed in this build. We will test these changes and after that we will do regression. Before we didn't perform regression because we rejected. Let's see if now everything is good. I go to Confluence and I open 1.0.4 release notes. We have more bugs that is fixed on this build. And let's try to verify each one by one. We can see again these bugs for links on homepage fixed, and I will briefly check if it is okay. So I will go to homepage and I go to submissions. It works. I click go to assignments and it works. Okay, so we can close this bug and we can close this bug. Then teacher users management list of students and teachers should not overlap the frame. Let's go to users management and we can see that, okay, now it is inside the frame. Everything looks good here. What about teachers? The same, nothing is overlapped. We can close next bug also, user management. And right now we focus on Chrome. If you have requirements that you need to test in multiple browsers, then we can do this way. And we can check. So this one I mark as closed. So developer mark is fixed. After it is fixed, I close it, close. Next one, closed.
Sophia, the person who closed the bug it can be QA or developers can close it as well.
It can
after
be only
fixing.
QA. After developer fixed, QA need to verify if it is really fixed. So QA double check and then close.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next one.
I also have a question, Sophia. Let's say I work in a company and we have 5 QAs and we got new build and we do regression testing. So like we have a split bugs that we verify or like or every single QA, 5 of them doing the same regression testing?
You need to split. You will, so let's say that you have 10 bugs that was closed and you have how many? 2 QA. It means that first QA will do first 5, second QA will do second 5, and then QA1 will focus on regression around this area that was changed, and QA2 will focus on regression around this area. And after we will finish with this bug verification, I will show how we can create test execution for a regression that related to these changes. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So, okay, this closed, this closed, this closed. Next one is settings, change password. New password field should not accept more than 32 characters. Wait, I will open it just to copy data. Okay, open, and in steps we have 33 characters provided. Click change. Too long, so this message should appear. I go to settings, I click change your password button, I provide my password, and then new password will be this one. I click here and I can see too long, no more than 32 characters allowed. Okay, I can see that it is fixed, and I will mark as closed, and I switch to next. Next, registration. User should not be able to save group code by typing just white spaces, and the next looks similar. Group code field should not accept white spaces, and probably we have different data in this too, but look like it is the same one, and it can be fixed just in one place. We can reject using white spaces, and that's it. Okay, I navigate. Okay, I will open it. Okay, log out. And then go to registration and just check. Yeah, here we need to add and this part that it is registration. Okay, then we click, okay, everything was good here because we click on register now, or we can do this way. We can just navigate to registration, type first name, last name, email. Let's type some example, first name, last name, example of email. Then for group code, we type here one space in group code field, and then password, confirm password. Okay, one space, and we can see immediately that this message triggered, white space is not allowed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but let's check if it will be not accepted. If I will click register me button, yeah, it is not accepted. And we can see that we can close this, and let's see what is the difference between these two. So we navigate, register now, type, and we type some special characters, and I see that it is some space between. Okay, let's check, and I put here like this. Okay, again, error message triggered. I just want to start from beginning, email, something, group code, this, and then, okay, it works. So we can see that these two closed, fixed, and we closed, and then switch to release notes. And one more, settings, change name, changing username field should allow user to use special characters and numbers. And let's reproduce. So it is on setting. Before it was allowed on registration, we was able to use it here. But okay, and there is no error message here, no error message also. It is allowed. Password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Register me. Okay, so it is accepted on registration, but we fix it on settings. And I login, and then settings, change your name. And here I try to use some special characters plus numbers, change, and I can see that now it is allowed. Let's try also to add some stuff for first name, and allowed. So we can see that this also fixed, and I mark as closed. Okay, so we done right now with bug verification, and now we do not have new features, so we will not test new features on this build, but we can do regression. To create test execution, firstly, I will open list of all test sets that we have. Close this, and then I select project, I select test sets, and we can see all the test sets that is created. So now from this list, we need to pick only test set that is related to regression, and we need to connect them to test execution. I will open new tab, and I will click create button. I will select type of issue test execution, and I can name it regression 1.0.4. I click create. It is created. I will open it. And it is empty right now, but then I click add test from the sets, and here I will connect these links. So how to select? Firstly, we want to select what's related to our bugs. We see that we need to retest homepage and check all the links on student and teacher's account to make sure that nothing is broken. And I will search here by component home. I can see this name of the set, homepage links or homepage buttons. I will copy ID, and to this regression, I will add this one. It will be 5 test cases inside. Then next one, users management. It was UI mistake. We do not have test cases related to this because we do not need to check UI with test cases. But do we need to check some functions there? Probably not yet. But okay, so this one we already connected. Then teacher settings, change password. We need to retest all settings for password function. Settings. I search. I can see that we have settings password test set. I will pick this ID. I'll connect it to this test execution. I just click add selected to check how many we have. Okay, 18 here. I would like to create 2 test execution because it can be a lot of test cases after we will connect everything, and just I will assign it to 2 different persons. It will be first part, and then I will create second part. Create test execution regression 1.0.4, and it is second part. and I click create button. Okay, it is created. I click on it and open it, and here I will connect other. So we connected already settings, password. Let's open registration user. Okay, so it is related to registration group code. Let's search here for registration test cases, and we have registration group code. I will copy and I will add here this test set. Okay, it is added. Then we have, so it is the same settings, change name, change to the special characters. Okay, then I will search again for settings. And I can see that settings full name we need to retest. I will copy and I will add it here at test from the set, and then I click add selected, and we have 22. Okay, and we will have one more test execution. I will click create button, test execution, and it will be and regression 1.0.4, and it will be third part. I click create button and open it, and we can think what other components can be affected by this bugs that we already fixed. So for homepage, we do not need to search for anything else, just we already check all the links there. Users management, what we can double check on users management. We know that a teacher can change full name for the students or teacher on users management, and probably we can retest it because we fix on settings, and now we know that for our own account we can change our name using alphanumeric and special characters, but we didn't double check if for users management it is fixed. Let's also try to search for users assignment group. Okay, let's search by management, and we have options in teachers account, options in students account, and here we check if we can change name. We also check if we can change group, and yes, we need to also double check if on this place white space is not allowed also. And so we can check name in teacher and students account if special characters and numbers accepted, and let's open. Probably delete student and delete teacher is not very important to check, and change user role also not very important to check because we didn't change this component to change role. Change user's name, and I see that we have some test cases that is missed. We have so the name of the set, users management, options in teachers account, and here I can see that we have options change student name, but we do not need to test it here because we have separate test set for it. I switch back and I will open this one, and I will open this one, and let's see what is duplicated in our case. Okay, let's firstly start with options in students account, and here, yes, I can see that we have a lot of these cases to check if the name of user can be changed. Then we have for group, then we have for it is for group also, just the name of test case is not right because it is boundary that related to group. Change users group. I switch back, refresh. Okay, so here we can see that we tested enough students account, but here we need to focus on only teachers account. So I would like to remove these test cases for students name, students role to teacher. We do not need because it is already tested in previous. This we need. Change student group we do not need. And then we have delete teacher, we need it, delete student, not needed because we have it in previous, it is here. Delete user, and but not clear, is it student or teacher, should be student. So we sign in with teacher, users management, click on students, click on student's name. So we selected some student. What can be not right in this test case? We didn't create the student firstly at the beginning of step, and then we are trying to search for it, and after it will be executed once, it will not be executed second time. So for this test case, I would like to add steps for user account creation. Maybe we can skip activation of this account because we know that after we created account, it will be immediately displayed in application. Probably it is not very good option to see not activated account in the list, because teacher can assign some quiz, but then the student will not receive because the student not activated. Так, delete user. Okay, Elena, can you add later more steps here for account creation? Can we add precondition? Yes, we can type here that student with name exist. But it also means that person who need to reproduce need to generate this user firstly. Okay, just let's add the steps later. Okay, так. So here we know that in this test set we need to add more test cases to check if teacher's name can be changed with different options. And for all, we do not need more, only one is enough. Delete teacher was also only one. Sergey, can you add here more test cases? You can use requirements. You will see that we can test also white spaces, special characters, numbers, boundary in users management.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so then, okay, so you can finish with this today, and tomorrow we will create this test execution, the third one, where we will retest users management. And what else we need to do? Settings, change name. So this we already retested. Okay. And I will close this, I will close this and this, and I will switch to project. I'll go to backlog. I will scroll down and I see this 3 test execution on the bottom of backlog. I would like to add all of them to second sprint. And first 2 I already can assign for somebody, but the last one is not ready yet. Okay, who want to take these test cases to execute? Somebody who are done already with API automation and with XPaths. It is who? Margarita. Okay, and this H. Okay, second part. Who want to take? One more person I need. The task is you just need to execute. You do not need to fix test cases. You just need to mark pass or failed, and fail only in case where there is a bug.
I think I can do it.
Okay, Elena. Okay, done. So for third part, we will wait. So what will happen next? We will wait until it will be executed by QA. After it will be executed, we will see statistics that some of test cases passed, some have failed. If so, we will check a list of test cases that failed. If we will not see any critical mistake, then we can approve this build for production and we will deploy it to production environment.
Sophie, can I ask a question? What I have to create there, like a account or what?
Yeah, just you have a test case where you need to, where we delete user, and at the beginning we need to create this user firstly. So you need to add a couple of steps when you navigate to registration page, you fill out with this name, and that's it, just 3 steps. But
okay.
It will not be added later to regression because we didn't change anything for this function, just for future when we'll do automation. Okay, okay.
Yeah. I have a question. So we do regression just around the area that has been touched by developers, that they have been fixed the bugs, right?
Yeah, because we do right now partial regression.
Oh, okay.
But also
in a full regression, we would test the main functions as well.
So we have all our test sets. Let's see how many test sets we have for this project. It is selected project, then selected test set, and we have 40 test set. But we do not need to retest this 40, or I can select a number of test cases. We will see how many total test cases we have, and it is 228. So we just focus on areas that was modified. But if we have our UI automation written already, and most of these cases automated, we can just run it and it will be executed immediately with UI automation. Later, we will work on UI automation, and I hope we will receive one more build with more changes at the end of sprint, and I will show you how to run it on new build, but when everything is automated.
Sophia, so I have a question. Why we don't do full regression right now? Because like it's still like I don't know why we don't do full right now regression, and when we're gonna do full regression?
Yeah,
later.
Firstly, we want to focus on partial regression because we just need to focus on areas that was modified. We know that some areas was not touched completely. For example, we have submissions, we have status, and we know that developer didn't change anything in submission, and it means that in code it looked like the same, and in application it looked like the same like in previous build. And we already tested it when we created our test cases. So just no need to test more detail. If you know that you have a lot of time and you just can, you have some unstable area, or you can spend more efforts to find more bugs, then yes, you can do full regression and focus on everything and just retest everything. But usually it is not needed. Usually we focus only on the stuff that was modified.
Thank you, understand.
Okay. Okay, it means that we are done for today with this new build testing. Let's wait for tomorrow or for some next day when this test execution will be ready. And probably the third one I will assign for Sergey after Sergey will add more test cases to test name on users management. I will add to this regression, and it will be stop now. If Sergey created, then it can be executed by another person better to see some mistake probably.
Sophia, may I use Yelena's test cases as a template for my teacher's stuff?
Sure.
Oh, thanks.
You can export steps, so it will be faster.
Yeah.
Okay, just when it will be ready, you can text to me that it is ready. I will connect and I will assign to somebody to finish with this third part. Okay, I will stop sharing. Do you have any questions about regression or about new build testing?
May I ask you a question? We got new build right now, and we have to start with regression at once after quick smoke test.
We completed smoke, we completed bug verification, and then yes, we do regression. If we have new feature, then we after bug verification, we can test new feature, or we can start with new feature and finish with bug verification. This sequence here doesn't matter because it is changes that we need to test.
What about acceptance build or acceptance
build
test?
Acceptance. We do not have acceptance criteria for this build. We have just bugs that was fixed, but we can have some additional requirements that on the usually it happens when we have some new feature added, and it can be additional explanations that for the features that is added, it is list or some additional requirements that you need to focus on. If you can see that, okay, this new feature is implemented, I can see that it is present somewhere and it is located in, just it look like it is displayed in requirements, then you can say that build acceptance testing completed and you accept this build for testing because all stuff that you expect to receive here is present and look like good. You just need to focus on testing and test it more detailed. Okay. And question from Maxim, how do we run smoke test in Postman? Our smoke test we executed in Postman. We run all our functions. We check that function is not core function is not broken, and then we completed a couple of tests on UI. We check just we can log in and we can create something, and we see that we was able to do some stuff because we smoke test is needed to check if the build is testable condition. We can see that it is in testable condition. Okay, how we will do it for mobile application? The same. You will receive new build using test flight or using some another tools that I do not remember. For Android, you can just get APK file for Android from developer, and then you can install it to your device, and you will do smoke test. It will be a check of main functionalities on mobile application. Then you will open the release notes, and you will do testing of changes. So the same approach. You can have some test cases for mobile application. Sometimes it can be the same like for web version. Sometimes if you know that some feature available for web, but for mobile it look like differently, then can be separate list of test cases only for mobile application.
Yeah, but we can do it like with Postman, right?
Yeah, we can do.
We can test a mobile app with Postman?
Difference between requests that is implemented for web and for mobile, it can be just different way how it is implemented. So you can have Swagger for web application, you can have Swagger for mobile because the function can work differently, but you can use Postman for testing of both of them because Postman it is just client that you can use for any. And you will send request, you will get if it works. Okay. Okay, if no other questions, let's switch for questions about API automation. Let's start with some short question with Daria. Or not short.
I only have one question about XPath. So if you want to start with API automation, I think it's for other people, but I can share my question. So, okay. So guys, if you haven't done, it's going to be some spoilers. So I will send you, Sofia, in the chat. Just a second. So these are the XPaths for 2 tasks. Remember you gave us the Word document. And these are my answers for 2 of the tasks. These XPaths work. So it's, I think they're done correctly. But what I don't really understand is why we need those 2 slashes and 2 dots in the second XPath for task 7. So you see, when we're practicing with Olga, I think we didn't use them. So Olga just showed us that we can use this slashes just as we did in command line in terminal. You know, it's just the same rule, but I don't quite understand. Oh yeah.
Just
you see, yeah, guys, it's really important that you type the quotes. You know, Sophia, I didn't know that. And I spent like hours because, yeah, I just copied and it didn't work. So does it work in your computer?
It shows 0 element matching. So I added one more slash because it was missed. But yeah, it is not.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Option value Canada. No, it do not work, but I can just show on my screen how it works. And so we select, maybe I need to click. No, I do not need.
Yeah, I see. I'm sorry, okay. Can it put, yes, so for some reason it's going to be my another question. For some reason it doesn't work when I type value Canada, but if I use contains text Canada, it works, and I don't really understand why.
Okay, let's see. So do you want to send a second option or do you want me to troubleshoot on screen? Okay, so it doesn't work. I just will.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I think this should work. It's just the same, but I used contains text here.
Okay, and it works. It shows it 1 element matching. Probably if I will click here, it will highlight it. Oh no, I cannot do it like this. Just click and click on second place because it do not show, but I can see that it works. And it is found on DevTools and it highlight 1 element matching, so looks correct. Okay, I will try to build by myself without contain. Stop, but second time you use with no, you use contains text Canada, and in first option you selected by option value Canada, and option value, and it should work here. XPath 1 Canada looks good. The first one I will just build the same but by myself in DevTools. So I start with select because it is inside select list and it is more reliable to start with this attribute than from option select, and then we have some ng model or we have name country of origin. You use this ng model. I will try to use country of origin this time, and after I click OK it will show add sign, I forgot. Okay, I click enter, so it finds this field, and now I need to find inside options. I will try to type slash and option. So when I type slash, it means I switch to next level in code. I was here, then I switch to option. It should show that, okay, 22 option is present, good. And then I use square bracket and I use @ value equal single quotes, and it is equal to Canada. I click enter and I show that, yes, it is found, one element matching. Why it didn't work with ng model form control data? I will check right now. Copy. So instead of add name country of origin, I put this one ng model. Stop, no, you have this ng model. Okay, and I will just replace two single quotes. I click enter and for me it works. So the difference right now, input ng model equal for, I see. You see, your XPath start with /input, but my XPath start with /select. And I do not know why you take input here, because here I can see just select and some other attribute. So it is only one mistake here. Name of tag.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it is not tag. It is we have no, it is tag. So input is tag in your case. Then we have attribute ng model and value of attribute form control data something. Okay, and then the second one about phone and input, and the question was why we use two dots. I will show this one. So now it works, but okay, let's say that I want to find this field for phone number. I try to use Chropass to suggest me some options. It suggests for me very long option. We have some IDs, and you see here, here is disadvantages of Chropass. It shows that some part is absolute. So first part is relative, it looks okay, but then it is look like absolute because we show selection, div, something. Okay, I will try to build by myself. I see here that we have labels, it is for this text, and then we have input for data, phone, something, then type number. One of approach to find this field, we can just use type number or name phone, and it will probably work without the switching, but the task was exactly find the XPath for label and then switch to input field. So if the task is just to find this field, then we will go with this case, star, then square bracket, add name equal phone, and then I close and I see that it works. So sometimes you can use like this, but this way that was mentioned in task, you need to use when your field do not have any reliable attribute. Like you can see some strange data, like ng model equal form data. No, it is not strange here. Like some class that is very long, and it is better to go with some more simple and clear XPath. So then we can find firstly phone number label for this field, and it proposed me to use contains text you used before, just label for equal phone. So two-way is okay in our case. Okay, I find this field, but then somehow I need to switch to this input field. And what I can see in code, I can see in code that my label tag is on the same level with input field. And to switch to, like, it is not a next hierarchy level. And to switch to next one, you can put /dot. And if you put like this, you switch firstly here on div. So right now you are here, and then you can switch inside to input. And then you will type / and name of your tag. It is input. Input. And then you click enter, and then you switch exactly here inside. So we
okay, I see.
/dot, we can switch outside of some element, and we can jump level up in code. If I will type 2 times /dot, I will switch to full form right now. For example, if one more /dot, it will switch to another form. We will use it when we will do automation, so we will practice with this stuff. It is useful.
Okay, yeah, I see. And do we have any cases where we should use / and 1 dot, or it doesn't really exist?
I think no. /1 dot. It is like the same. And if 2 dots.
Okay, yeah. Now I see. So we did one step back and then one step forth
Inside.
to find a child. Okay, yeah, I see. Thank you.
Okay. I stop sharing. Then next question from Yelena, some errors with API automation.
Yeah, I have I'm getting errors like activation, like 6 errors I'm getting.
Okay, you can share.
Yeah, I can share actually. How I have to kind of share window?
Just click share.
Entire screen?
Desktop or entire screen.
It doesn't push anything. I don't know why.
Maybe it shows system preferences for you.
Zoom meeting here. You can see.
Okay, yeah, we can see.
I'll go to the first one. It's open. I open on the right. Oh, it's here. So if I run
I cannot see yet. I can see just the window with all participants. Can you try to share one more time? I stop sharing, just click share and select desktop option.
Okay.
Because you selected Zoom option, probably.
Screen. I have entire screen. Entire screen. No, it doesn't show entire screen.
Can you read what other options you have?
Entire screen, Windows, Microsoft Edge Top. So maybe
it looks strange.
It's Windows. I'm just because from a browser, so not a.
Okay. Probably you need to sign in from desktop because you need to sign in from desktop. You need to reconnect. Do you have desktop Zoom application?
Windows, no.
Okay, you can install quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, so just install Zoom, reconnect from this one, and we will discuss. But now we can switch for different question from Genrich.
Hello. So I'll share. Okay, 1 second.
I can see.
All right, one. In quiz, when I run quiz post quiz, so like create new quiz.
But you remember that before we create anything, we need to sign in first to application, and you have like separate collection for each request. It is not correct approach. You just need to have one collection, and inside all requests should be in sequence where you sign in firstly, you generate tokens, but you have multiple collection. It is not correct one.
Oh, I just have to like separate, just put all in one. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So first, put all in one. Second, organize it in some logical sequence, and you just need to understand that firstly you need to sign in, get tokens, then you can do something inside application, and after that you can delete some stuff that you used in your collection. So all delete requests you can move to the end of collection, sign in at the beginning, and authorization at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Like this. Okay, so try firstly reorder. If you want, you can have subfolders in your collection, but you need one collection.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it'll fix the issue because they're separate. That's okay. It would give me like a lot of errors. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing. And next question from Lalei.
Actually, she's not here. She went to pick up her child.
Yep. Then next, Margarita, next, some issue with reset password.
Yes, I have one. Okay. This one. What's wrong here?
Can you click firstly on your forgot password request? Okay, and click on body. And then we can see that you requested password reset for this email, but you are trying to...
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yes.
So you got...
I know my mistake now.
Mhm.
Okay. Never mind. Thank you.
Так, stop sharing.
I have a question about the extra API. Can I share it now or at the end of the class?
Let's do at the end of the class.
Okay.
API from recruit. And next question from Maxim. Sofia, will we cover and practice with XPaths in a class how we did it with Postman API? I never used it before. Tomorrow we will have presentation about XPaths. It will be prepared by Lale and Victoria, if I'm not mistaken. So on this presentation, you can ask some questions. If something is not clear, so you perform it by yourself, you didn't share yet answers with me, I will review after you will share. And if you got some additional question, you can ask girls. And we will practice together a couple of XPaths on assessment control application, because later we will use it for automation. So we will have a discussion tomorrow. Okay, and next question from Tatiana. Okay, Tatiana, are you ready?
I think maybe I try by myself first.
Okay, and one more question from Victoria.
My first question, when I watched the video and Slava showed how he works with RAWPaths, he got that as a auto-suggestion in the line, which we don't have in our RAWPaths, like you and we. It's different versions of browser or RAWPaths. Why
It
we
is
have
different version in RAWPaths. RAWPaths start to work worse than it was before. Just try to use selectors hub. Right now it worked like XPath before, and it suggests better option.
Okay, I got it. And it looks like I don't understand very clear what's the difference between locators and selectors. Could you clarify that, please?
I think it is the same, locator or selector.
See here, we can choose selectors and XPaths and locators.
So here is selector, and we are trying to type here some option, but XPath help us locate an element. I can just Google, but I think it's the same.
Yeah, because I have read it before. Like locators a little bit different from selectors, but I still cannot catch that tiny difference.
Okay. There are two words for the same. Typically, when it comes to CSS, we start addressing the locators as CSS selectors. So look like it is same, but just we call that we use CSS selector because people used to call like this. With XPath, we can CSS selector moves forward. So it is just difference between XPath and CSS selector.
Okay, I can see the question, which is faster, CSS selector or XPath? Can we take a look what is that? So yeah. Here.
CSS selector is the best option if web element has no ID and name. CSS selector is faster than XPath. It is very useful when we, so here, yeah, that's explanation that it is faster. But XPath also has some advantages over CSS. We can discuss tomorrow on presentation.
Yes, but we have CSS selector and it's different from XPath, yeah?
Yeah, it is different. On this project, we will focus on XPaths because it is most popular way, but to find CSS selector, we can do this way. You just click on some element and then you also inspect, and it was somewhere here, pass. Copy, HTML, copy selector. Does look like it is this one, copy selector, but I didn't work with it before. I focused on XPath. So CSS selector, it is about styles, but XPath, it is about HTML and about location of element by the tag.
Okay, thank you.
And then, Sophia, I have a question. So like for tomorrow's homework, we gotta watch that video with the one that you
automation.
API automation. And then for this task, this is in Jira, right? This sample. So we just need to get XPaths for each field, or
not for each field. You need to open tasks that is assigned for you for XPaths. You will see that we have file in attachment, and here just the small screenshots for the elements that you need to find, and example what exactly we need to use. Like you need to find XPath for this element, but you need to find in some specific ways. So for example, here.
Where did you find this? Because I don't have a file in there.
So it is in Jira. I click on your name, Genrich, and it is assigned to you. So you just click on your task and, okay, I see. I accidentally didn't attach it here, or it was not attached while.
So basically do this for tomorrow.
Okay, it is attached now. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so for tomorrow, try to complete API automation and work with XPaths because we'll have discussion.
Quick question, I apologize. So the deadline for REST API and practice with XPaths is tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow. Deadline is the sprint, so you can continue work on the sprint, but will be good if you can finish it today, tomorrow, because next topic it will be UI automation and we will focus mostly on it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and next question from Yelena. Are you connected from Zoom on your Windows, correct?
I think so.
Okay, we can try to share.
So Postman, you see?
Yes, I can see.
I see.
Okay, so we see some errors here. We have some 401 unauthorized errors and 200, and look like, okay, you have 37 tests passed. Can you try to rerun it one more time and we will see one more time what is the issues. Okay, the first one didn't work for activation, and then something also failed for substance.
But yes, a lot of is like responding time. You have mostly is a time.
Yeah, forgot password, we can see that failed. Then reset password, get quizzes unauthorized, it means just
delete quizzes, delete users, and post assignment with one.
Okay, so let's deal firstly with sign up and activation request. First two in your collections that failed. So yeah, activates account.
Do we need to do this one?
Yeah, let's start with this, but you see you have a lot of tabs open. Can you please try to close all requests that you have? Just click on, and I see why it can happen. Probably you fixed something already, but you see you have conflict, and it happened when you fixed something, but you forgot to click save, and it shows then this conflict, and probably it was the reason why everything is failed. Can you try to close all tabs that is without this conflict and without orange sign? Okay, you close everything. Okay, let's close everything and let's just fix one by one. You can click on three dots on in front of this tab. No, not here. And other three dots near stage environment. So you have your tabs open with all your requests, and on the top right corner you have stage and I sign. Top right corner, you're on left corner, move to right corner. Okay, so here near stage, can you see stage text? Almost. Move cursor up. Here, click here. Yeah, click on it and click close all tabs.
Close all tabs.
Yes. Okay, all closed. Let's open first request, sign up. Click on it and try to send it manually. It will show 420 unknown, and we can see message user already exists and activated. It means that you already used this email and you didn't delete it, so you just need to delete this account, or you need to change email a bit to make this account created.
So I need to generate new one.
Yeah, let's try more simple, because you're only one person that do the stuff right now. Click on body and modify email a little bit. Let's add a couple of characters here.
Let's do maybe 1, 2.
Yeah, just anything. Okay. Then try to save this request firstly. Okay, then click on tests tab. I just want to see what you have in tests. So you have, after we sign up, we will receive just message that user is created, but you are trying to get activation code for new user and new user ID from this request. It is not correct. You can delete all these tests here and click just on verification of status code snippet. Status code is 200. Okay, and can be enough for this one. You can click save one more time and you can click send, and we will check that it get 200. We get 200. Okay, so this okay. Next one, we want to activate account after creation, but here we hard-coded ID and activation code. It means second time it will not work because it will be generated every time for new user. And here, yeah, you need to get it, but you want to get it automatically. We did it on Friday. Maybe you missed it. Was on second part of lesson, and maybe you missed it how we work with XMySQL. Do you have XMySQL installed on this device?
As we go to users to the
to use it to get
yes, I found it. Yes, activation code. Yes, I have it.
Do you have XMySQL installed? Terminal. Can you open terminal? No, you do not need to pass anything here from database. We want to do it with automation. I can share with you part of video where I recorded the stuff on meeting, so you can just reproduce it. It will work. But now it do not work because every time manually you paste same activation code and same user ID. Just later you need to do it with automation, and you will be able to do after you will watch this part of video. And also at the end of your collection, you can have delete user request and you can delete your new user ID. So you have it here and click on it. So you see you also hard-coded ID of user, but after you will put variable later, it will clean up database from this new user account every time after you create. Like
okay,
this.
but when we do test, it's basically this, or I need to add something else?
What is wrong here? Test online 4 is correct, that starts response time. Then test online number 8 is correct, you check status code, but this enforce that we have online number 1 and 2 is not needed here because this kind of snippet that you use try to get a token of teacher from response. But if you will send delete user request, it will be just message in response. It will say user was deleted, but there is no token returned. Token returned only in post sign in request. So this part is needed only in post sign in. Okay.
Yes, maybe I can fix it.
Okay, so how we will fix? I will share recording. I will share this time where I recorded this part from video. You will reproduce them by yourself firstly, and then we can double check if it works.
I will put everything in environment, yeah, here in the staging.
No, you do not need to put anything manually here. We do it with snippet. And I can suggest for you some steps how you can understand better how the snippet works. I can share with you. I have it in my notes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stop sharing. And one more question from Margarita about Recruit project.
Also, I just have a question about ask, because I didn't fix it. It didn't help me.
You can share. Okay. So we can see that for a set password status code is not 200. Okay, can you click one more time on forgot password request? Okay, so it is your email. Can you copy this email? Okay, then switch to next request to your collection, get HTTP localhost API v1. And then, so it is the same. Can you just paste it here? Maybe you missed some
Yeah.
character.
No, I didn't miss. I can paste.
The same, yeah.
Um,
Okay, the same, I see. Can you please open terminal? I just want to double check that you connected to XMySQL from terminal. Okay, everything good, you connected. Okay, you can close this window. Oh, not closed, yeah, just like this. Okay, can you try to click send for this request? Okay, and we get that something went wrong while running snippet. And we can see that we received nothing. So probably something happened with this user account. Can you please go to forgot password request, previous one, and send it one more time? And it shows, so not found, user.
yes, because I went.
Sign up.
Yes.
Okay, then let's try from beginning. Let's go to sign up, then stop. Email is same. Okay, user was created, good. Then go to second request. Let's activate it firstly. Okay, so we get activation code and we get user ID. Good, let's try to activate now. Okay, we activated. We do not need to sign in with it because for sign in you use different, you use from test data, correct? Okay, let's try to forgot password. Okay, we requested, good. Let's switch to next one to get this data, send it, and now it is good and we get new activation code. Then try next one, reset password, user ID.
Give me a sec.
No, activation code for new user ID, looks good. It will just rewrite, okay, reset password, send one more time, and here we have, I see, you for user ID you have teacher ID, but before you get new user ID.
Okay.
Try to change it to. Okay, and try to send. Okay, so it was the mistake. If you will close all requests right now and run your collection, everything should work.
Oh, first I should delete user.
Yes, you should. You're right. Yeah, you manually need to send it. Okay, 200. Then yeah, let's run and.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Done. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Stop sharing. Then next question from Lali, and it was question about Newman.
Yeah, unfortunately I missed that part last session and I rewatched the video. I was wondering, what is the use of attaching a file to test runner?
We need to do it only if we want to run collection with multiple set of data that we provided in this file. So that's why we can create some file with different columns. We can put all our variables in columns, like we can put all the teachers' credentials for multiple teachers, all the students' credentials for multiple students, all the quizzes IDs that we want to work with, or all the what else assignments that also we want to change, and then we can test it. We can use this kind of file when we want to try performance test, like we can create this spreadsheet with 100 teacher student account. We can sign in all of them at the same time. And if we added verification of response time to each request, like here we verify that it is, okay, here, less than 200 milliseconds. We can see how it changed if we try to overload system with multiple actions, with data usage. And we will see that, okay, half of requests failed because we used a lot of accounts.
So it is like a small database, sort of.
Can you say it again? You didn't like
it? Is like a small database?
No, not a small database. It is data that we take from database, but it is not a database. It is test data.
And if we have like 30 records and we want to run the collection for 30 times, the data would be different.
We can do it this way. So first
Do
time,
you hear me very well?
not very well, but I can understand. If you want to run collection 30 times, we can do it simply here. We can just put 30 iteration, but in this case, we will use all the time the same data. If you know that we want to use different data, then we need to attach file. We click select file and attach it. But right now, if you click run automation, you will see that, okay, now everything failed because the status code, something, I remember, because I changed in body to this variable and forgot to change it back. And just need manually put it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the teacher, and for student, it will be student something, student5@gmail.com, and password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC. Save it, and then I click on collection and then run, and then I put here 30. So I have verification of response time for each request. I can try to run, and I can see if it is the same data, it is working good. But if it will be different, okay, it failed just once. Response time, okay, second. So this way. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, I have one more. After running command in terminal, we saw more options in respond. I was wondering, we should keep the terminal open all the time? I think
if you know that in our collection we want to connect to database, yes, it should be it should be open all the time. If we do not use this XMySQL tool, then we can close.
And should we run the command once every time before running the collection?
No, if it is open, if you run before, it is okay. So you see, I ran it last time on Friday, maybe, but now it is still work.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Так.
Sophia, I'm sorry, my question about Recruit is still alive. I forgot about it. Okay, first, can you please tell me where can I do manually a resume? I can find it. This one.
Okay, I see that you have it open at the second tab. I didn't work with this application before, so I didn't even explore it, but we can try to search. I think you need to log in firstly in application, and then
I'm logged in with your credential that you provide.
Yeah, you're right, and we can just log out. Okay, so we have careers and we have recruit. Okay, I can just explore by myself and search where we can attach it. For example, when we have some APIs that is not implemented yet, that is present in Swagger, so on UI probably you cannot do some function.
Okay, yeah, that was what I was thinking about, because I couldn't find it in the app and I couldn't do it manually to check the response body when you add resume. Because the status code is okay. 201 as it says in Swagger.
Okay, yeah, I will just try to explore by myself and check if it is possible somehow.
Thank you.
Okay. Guys, do you have some other questions for me?
I do have I guess I want to ask you for a favor. You said that you're going to share with Yelena that part of the video, how to take the activation code. Can you also share it with me, please, or in general?
Yep.
Thank you.
In general, I will send activation code.
Sophia, I have a small question. Then I saw different collection of our classmates like Margarita and Elena. They have deleted requests in different places. on Yelena, I saw on the between the another request and on Margarita in the end on the request. What place we need to take a delete? Because how I understood, delete request can do conflict when I delete what I create and then I take a quiz, assignment as a quiz, and in what I assign, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I understand. It highly depends on what kind of variables you use in your collection. Imagine that we have a collection where we create a quiz, and after we created this quiz, we want to get ID of this quiz, and later we will use it for update quiz request, we will use it for post assignment, we will use it for, maybe that's it, just for these two, and after that we need to delete. And it means that we can but okay, we also, after we submit an assignment, it should be probably present. I didn't check on UI if it will be possible to like create a quiz, then create an assignment, and then after we will delete quiz, assignment will be still in application or it will be deleted. If assignment still in application, it means that delete quiz request can be before submit assignment request and it will not break anything. But if you will see that this assignment will disappear, it will be better to put at the end of collection. I just remember that in our database, we have in assignments table quizzes, and then quiz content is copy-pasted here from the quizzes table. So probably it is not deleted. But the best approach, just if you know that you will use this ID in some part of request, put it after all this request where you plan to use it. The same with assignment. So it will be more easier just to put all the delete requests to the end of collections.
Our collection did not need to be like on Swagger. I correct understood?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Because on Swagger, it is not a logical sequence of actions that can happen. So if it is executable every time, it means that you organized correctly. Like without manual updates, you can run it every time. You can get 200 OK for everything. It means that sequence is right. Okay. Так, what I plan to do today also. Questions. Check connection with Tatiana, but we will do later. Let's select a couple of questions that we can discuss tomorrow. Interview questions. I already marked here what we discussed. I propose you to take other questions for API that we didn't take before, but it is short. Like this one. So this last one, did you use Newman? One girl received it because she put Newman in resume and interviewer noticed it and then asked. Okay, please suggest maybe 3 more questions for tomorrow from any place.
Maybe some behavioral questions.
Let's take. Let's keep tell me about yourself and tell me about your project, because for these 2 questions you need more time to prepare, and tell me about your project. We will discuss at the end of internship after we will use all the tools. I will ask a lot of questions about how exactly we use each tool, for what purpose, like this.
Number 6 maybe.
And number 4 also. Interesting and quick.
One, yes, it is interesting. Number 4, why do you want to move from your current company? Okay. And one more.
Maybe 8. Oh, no, not 8. Weaknesses is 12.
Weaknesses.
Or what about 9?
9.
Yeah, 9 is interesting.
Let's take. 9 question for tomorrow. Let's take more or enough?
I think enough.
Okay, let's have this. It will be in tasks. Okay, then we are done with meeting. Just Tatiana, let's check connection. But firstly, guys, do you have some other questions to me?
So the task for tomorrow is just preparing that questions.
Yeah, try to finish API automation and XPath's task. And also you can prepare some questions for XPath's. We'll discuss it tomorrow on presentation, and about BDD and Cucumber if you work without it before, or if you just have some questions from interview maybe. And this interview questions.
Thank you.
Okay, I will stop sharing. Thank you. We are done. You can disconnect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
I will start recording.